One of the primary requirements for good relationships is adequate security. If there is insecurity, conflicts are sure to erupt. Financial security is a very important contributor to the sense of stability anyone experiences. That's why whenever there is a financial deficit, the resultant fear and insecurity has a tendency to show on relationships. In order to handle the situation, you need to understand the second spiritual law that governs destiny, the law of emotions. The universe says, you manifest what you fear, you manifest what you hate, you manifest what you love. Firstly, let us understand the difference between thoughts and emotion. Thoughts are random occurrences that don't really hurt you. They need not scare you. They don't have such force behind them. Emotions, on the other hand, are thoughts packed with intensity. Thoughts that are repetitive. So what we are dealing with here are emotions and not stray thoughts. You manifest what you fear, says the law. Fear is a primal emotion. You could also say it is the mother of all other painful emotions. Jealousy is the fear of being overtaken. Anger is the fear of not knowing what else to do. Hurt is the fear of being ignored or insulted. One could go on endlessly. Let us learn this through a real life story. Once in the United States, news went around that a serial killer was hunting down a lot of people, and people were warned against entertaining strangers in their homes. Totally oblivious of all this was an old lady who lived in the suburbs of a town all by herself. It was a rainy evening, and all of a sudden, someone walked through her door. Woken up from her peaceful slumber on her armchair, the old lady noticed a man standing in front of her, armed with a club and all wet. She looked at him through the candlelight and said, "Son, you must be cold and wet. Warm yourself." The man was confused for a few moments, but dropped his club and sat near the fireplace. The lady again said, "You must be awfully hungry, son. Go into the kitchen and help yourself." He hogged the food that lay on the table and ran out into the night with the club in his hand. He ran across the street and broke into the next house. As the family screamed in terror, he used his weapon on them. Why do you think his responses were so drastically different? He was a maniacal serial killer, yet did not hurt the old lady, while he hurt the immediate neighbors, because you are the fuel for other people's responses towards you. Since the old lady had no fear, the serial killer could not hurt her, while the ones who were terrified got themselves killed. Though this is an extreme example, the principle holds good in everybody's life. You attract events and people you fear. Similarly, you manifest what you hate. Hating verbal abuse over years, you indulge in it. How many times in life you have had to bite your tongue for being and doing exactly the same things you opposed and hated? If hate is the energy you let loose into the universe bounces it back at you. However, the law also says you manifest what you love. If you love, you dream, you envision something, the universe would go all out to give it to you. Most often life takes a downturn when your love and passion takes a downslide. Instead of investing energies on hate, invest in love. Instead of being afraid of conflict, love peace. Instead of hating poverty, love wealth. But how do emotions that are the mere result of biochemical reactions in your brain gain such force? Emotions that are not acknowledged and accepted by you in the course of your life get accumulated in the deeper layers of the unconscious. And anything that is rejected comes back with a vengeance distorted. That is why when people indulge in regular unpleasantness in their family, their problems complicate even more. It becomes a catch-22 situation. More problems, hence more fights, and hence more repression, and so on and so forth. When in times of difficulty, do you usually use your family for gaining peace and strength, or do you only use it to vent out your frustration? What emotions have you got addicted to in relating to your family in difficult times? Coming to the next question of what is the solution to this? Despite one's best efforts and intentions, fear and disappointment persist. Hence, the only solution is to acknowledge and accept the fact of their existence without hiding from them. It is to be integral. Anything that is recognized and accepted does not turn destructive. That doesn't mean that you go around speaking and expressing these emotions out to people around you. All you need to do is to be integral to yourself. It involves 3 simple steps. Sit down quietly and watch your breath. Move into a space of peace and relaxation. Acknowledge the emotion, be it fear, hurt, or hate. Say to yourself, yes, I am hurt, I am afraid, or I am angry. It's okay. An inner affirmation of the truth helps you accept and embrace yourself. This practice could be done anytime by anybody whose emotions are blocked or life is moving in a retro direction, to steer it back to abundance and fulfillment. You could, if your family culture permits, sit together for prayer in moments of stress. It would prove to be a tremendous energy booster and would invoke divine grace into life.